Hi everyone, this is Aruna, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, SNS College of Technology. In my lecture series, we're going to see about how the function can be works. Before watching this video, kindly watch my previous videos. Then only we can able to understand this particular concept very much easier. So we know the definition, is it right? We know the definition, and also we know how we can define the function, how we can call the function, how we can able to pass the value. Everything we have to know in our previous thing. So in this video, I'm going to show you how the workflow of my particular C program by using a function concept. So see this picture. This is the syntax or syntax for defining, calling everything by using a function. Declaration also. Here we know that always we have to include the header file. Here I have defined the function. So my definition part is in the global definition. So by using a global definition, I have defined my function, and also why it does not return any value. This is the body of the function. So I have defined in the globally. So next, it will have a main function. Inside the main, we are defining a function name by passing a value. So this particular function, it will call over here. After performing an operation, it will return some value to the where it could be called. So this is the simple overflow of this. This we're going to detailedly discuss along with the example. And also before seeing the example, first we're going to define the steps. What is the first step? We have to declare a function. So what is a declaring a function? So it is a very first step we have to do the thing. Without declaring the function, we cannot able to pass the parameter value to the function. So while declaring a function, we are having a two things, a parameter passing and the return type. How we can return a value, and because while returning and passing a value, it is depend upon the user. So whenever the user want to pass the parameter, we can pass. If they want to return a value, return a value. Otherwise, it will return the null value to the where it could be called. So the first definition is that declaring a function. Second thing is defining a function. So while defining a function, it can be subdivided into different parts. One is the calling the function. So the calling the function is a step where we can call the function by passing an argument in the function. So this is the calling function. Here we have to pass some argument. That argument only we can call it as a formal actual argument. So inside the calling function, if you want to pass any value, that particular value we can call it as the for actual argument or actual parameter. Second thing is we have to execute a function. How the function can be executed? So after calling this thing, it will go for definition part. In the definition part only, we are defining the what that particular function going to execute. So in the definition part, it will have some input. It will return some output to the function. So it will calculate certain operation. It will return to the calculating the who could be the calling, that can be sent it over here. So that is the executing a function. Executing a function is a step where we can run all the statement inside the function to get a final result, to perform some operation. The next thing is we have to return. So as a function, it is no need to only for completion. Definitely it will have returned some value to the user. So that is a fifth part in our function, is returning a value. So returning a value is a step where we have calculated after the execution of the function is returned. Existing the function is the final step where all that allocated memory to the variable function etc. is destroyed before giving the full control to the main function. So it will be destroyed, whatever the function, whatever the local, because it is a local define. We are defining it in a local. So once the value is passed to the main function, everything will be destroyed over here. While returning stage only, it will destroy the value. So this is how a C program can be executed. So we're going to discuss this thing along with an example. Here I have to show you one example along with the example for sum of two numbers. And also here I'm passing the value as well as it will return the value. So this particular program is with argument and with return value. This I'm going to explain it in detail in my upcoming videos. Now for your understanding only, I'm saying it is have a with return type and with return value. So always our compiler will be started with the main. Initially I said that function itself can be called it as the C itself, it can be called it as a function. Without the function, C cannot be executed. So this is my int main. So it will be started over here. It will be getting enter. I have allocated one memory called as one variable called as a add. It type is a integer type. So inside the add, I am going to store the sum of two number value. So inside the thing, I'm going to call the sum function. So for calling that function, I have passed the two value. Here 10 and 30 is the actual value. So for adding that two thing only, I'm pass it over here. While passing, can be called it as the actual value. So after executing this particular statement, the compiler automatically move to the function definition along with the two parameter, that is a 10 and 13. So that parameter in the definition, it can be converted into a formal arguments. So A can have a 30 and B can have a A can have a 10 and B can have a 30. So that particular value is assigned to the variable A and B. It enter into the body of the statement. So after entering into the body of the statement, it will perform the operation, that is addition operation. A can have a 10, B can have a 30. 10 plus 30 is 40. So the 40 value, this particular function return to the main function. After returning this thing to add, this particular variable can be destroyed. So in my return function, add can contain the 40. That particular 40 value will be displayed over here. So it will return 0 to the, because it is a main, so it will return as 0. This is how a calling function can be, that is a flow of function, how it can be executed. This is a simple example. In upcoming thing, I'm going to detailedly give the each and everything in a brief manner. So because in a function, there is a two important topic is a return type and arguments. So definitely each and every user have to know about these two things, function return type and arguments. Definitely a function can contain with argument and without argument. A function can contain with return type and without return type. So first we're going to see about what is a return type. Yes, a subtask, it returns some value to the thing, to the main function. That can be called it as a return type. Return type may be any type. It may be in float or character or a double. So it tells what type of a value returned after the function is executed. That will shows the function return type. So this is based on, if you doesn't want to return any value, means we're going to simply give a void. So this is a function return. As a function prototype must contain the return type and the arguments. So this is an example for the function return type. Here integer is my return type. My function name is function. I have to pass the two parameter. It will be ended with the semicolon. So function argument. So function argument is also called as a function parameter. What type of a data we are passing to the function, that can be called it as an argument. This is a simple example. Here it will pass the two integer value, that is a variable 1, variable 2 can be passed to the main function. So this is the major thing in our C language.